Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I am extremely excited to finally be filming again because I was on a little trip, so I didn't film for a few days, and then on the course of that trip I ended up getting an allergic reaction to my eyes. They were super puffy and I don't know what it was. I have a suspicion, but I don't want to try the product again right now to see if I'll have the same reaction, but I will try it in the future. But as of right now, I'm not going to try it because my birthday is on the day that you're watching this, and I'm not trying to have swollen, horrible eyes on my birthday. But anyways, so I had to wait several days for that to go down. I was taking Benadryl and allergy medicine and steroid cream. It was to that point because it was so awful. I feel like I have an extra crease in my eye right here that it might be just a little bit swollen still, but I was impatient. I ran out of things to wash and clean, so I had to film. And also I just want to get these colors on my eyes. So lately I have been lusting over the Natasha Denona gold palette. Actually, not just lately, ever since it came out. Actually, no, let me start back. Oh, okay, when it came out, I was like, oh, it's a gold palette. Like, do I need a gold palette? Absolutely not. I don't even like gold. And then when I started seeing videos and swatches and reviews, it's been out for months and I'm like, it is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. My nose is itchy. I'm like, it is so beautiful. I cannot stand it. Just the mix of the blues and the golds with the green undertones, and I have been binge watching videos. Like, I am so obsessed with this palette to the point where I'm like, oh my gosh, that brown looks so nice. Like, oh, I want to use that brown eyeshadow. Like, who am I? Who am I? I don't know, but I am obsessed, and I love Natasha Denona's formula, so I'm like, oh, I'm just living, dying, breathing for the gold palette, but it is super expensive. And I was kind of debating, like, maybe as like a birthday gift to myself, because the VIB sale is coming up. I can get it on sale. So I was kind of thinking about it, but I was like, first I need to go through my collection. So last night, actually, I sat here. Oh my gosh, my nose is so itchy. I sat here, I went through my collection, and I swatched a bunch of gold shadows, which I actually don't have that many. And I feel like almost all the golds that I have are kind of like, I don't know, not that special or pretty. So I was overall not really happy with my selection of gold shadows, and like in comparing to the palette and the swatches that I saw. And the closest color story I could find was combining two different Juvia's Place palettes, which looks like this. So I have the Warrior palette, which this is like this is a really true gold palette, only a few matte shades here, and overall really gorgeous. I feel like the shades are super metallic and stunning, and I do like this palette, and I like the formula, and I think it's beautiful. So there are some really pretty golds in here. So that's kind of like the gold portion of the palette. So I thought if I go ahead and add the Tribe palette into it, I have some other parts of the Natasha Denona palette, like the really pretty green shade. Well, I think that it might be a little bit more blue looking, like the deep matte shade in the gold palette. And then there is a shade kind of similar to this, but not exactly. This is like a bronzy gold with a little tiny bit of a green shift. And then this is kind of like a dirty yellowy brown, but there is a camel brown in the Natasha Denona gold palette. So I could definitely see the differences, and there are some shades that do not compare from looking at swatches and just looking at my own collection. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. Today I'm going to pretend that I have the Natasha Denona gold palette and try to do a look that I would do with that palette with these, and see if I'm satisfied and if I can talk myself out of spending the money. So yeah, I actually did a video like this forever ago, like years ago. It's a mess. It's a mess. Don't watch it. But I pretended that I had the Manny MUA and Makeup Eat collab because it was impossible to get your hands on. I remember like trying to check out for hours. I was so frustrated, so I just did a look that everyone was doing with that palette, and I did it with my own collection. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna try and do like some like bluey green look and see, am I happy with this? Am I happy with the formula, or can I really see a place for the Natasha Denona gold palette in my collection? The thing is, I feel like if it came down to it, I could dupe the colors, but I don't think I could dupe the formula because the formula just looks so metallic and sparkly, and there's shifts and toppers. And I literally watched like 6 hours of Natasha Denona gold palette reviews last night. So I'm kind of invested, but I figured, you know what, I'm going to give it a try and see if I can be happy with this. And, you know, I figured that's what I would do today. So today, the video, I'm probably going to call it like pretending that I own the Natasha Denona gold palette, because I don't own it. Alright, so before I jump into the eye look, I figured I'd do some quick swatches of these two palettes just to show you some of the shades that I thought were kind of comparable, and just swatch a few of the shades that I felt like kind of had the same vibes. So from this palette, the Warrior palette, I'm going to go ahead and swatch this gold right here, I think this bronzy shade, and then these two browns. I literally even painted my nails inspired by the Natasha Denona gold palette last night. I think this is Kale Polish Medusa or something like that. So here's the metallic shades. Like, these are truly stunning. And then here are the two matte browns. I'll do a second swatch. And then out of the Tribe palette, I am going to swatch all three of these middle row shades. I'm going to swatch this one just because I feel like this does have a green shift to it, and I'm not sure, I don't really feel like there's anything in the gold palette quite like this, but if you do these two shades and kind of mix them together, I feel like it kind of gives you like a bronze with an extra little green duochrome to it, so you can kind of mix them. And then I'll also swatch these two matte shades right here. And then here's the two matte shades. So there are the shades from the two palettes. I feel like overall they're stunning, but I just don't see maybe the same amount of like green shiftiness to most of the shades. But just to show you really quick, I am going to go ahead and take that shade Koro. I love Koro and Chaga, these two, and I'm going to mix them in a swatch real quick just to show you what the two shades look like layered. So there you can see those two shades together. Alright, so those are the swatches. I'm still not 100% convinced I don't need the Natasha Denona gold palette, so now let's go ahead and jump on into the eye look. Alright, so starting off with this light brown right here called Kano. I'm just going to go ahead and dust this shade through my crease. I'm going to take a touch of this shade called Mino. Really just picking up like the tiniest little amount, and I'm going to go ahead and deepen my crease just a touch with that. Actually, you know what? I didn't even want to use this shade. I wanted to use something else. What am I thinking? Okay, I guess I'll do the same thing on the other side, but I'm not going to put barely any at all. Oops, I will put more. Wow, I suck. Now I'm going to go ahead and take a Shanty right here, which actually has hard pan in it. Don't know how that happened. And I'm going to put that through my crease. I'm going back in with a touch more of that first warm shade and just blending over the top. I'm also going to take a little bit more of a Shanty along the lower lash line, along the like outer half. Alright, now I'm going to take this shade right here called San, and I'm going to start working this on my outer V. Just a little bit at a time. Get the shape that I want. Just slowly packing that shade on, building it up. Then I am going to take the previous brush and just lightly blend along the edge. Go back and forth and just make sure that nothing is too harsh. Alright, so I try to do like more of like a little wing shape. I don't know. I don't know how that works with having hooded eyes, but I tried it. Now I'm going to go ahead and take Kuba. I'm going to like kind of put this on the outer part of the eye right here. I'm not going to cut my crease or anything because I kind of like that like messy, like really grungy gold everywhere kind of look. So like that. Honestly, that shade is so beautiful. Now I'm going to go ahead and take Chaga. And I put this on like the inner, or sorry, the middle of my lid. And I'm going to blend it into the green. The greeny blue, I should say. And these are all dry. Now I'm going to take Idia. And I'm going to put that on the inner part of my lid. Gonna dip into Koro, and I'm just gonna like kind of tap that over. this whole part of the lid to give more of that green effect. I'm going to take this bronze called Benin. I'm going to pop that onto the inner half of my lower lash line. I'm going to take a touch of my blending brush and just kind of go over this edge right here. Last but not least, grabbing a touch of Bakwa. My brush is a little wet because I just cleaned it off, just for full disclosure. So I'm going to go ahead and use that gold to highlight the inner corner of my eye. I'm going to take the brush I used for the deepest shade and just kind of, make sure that's all blended in together. I'm going to go ahead and pop NYX Golden Olive into my waterline for a little pop of green. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply some mascara. For cheeks today, I figured I would go ahead and go in with my Natasha Denona Diamond and Blush palette just because, this video is about Natasha without being about Natasha, so I figured I'd go ahead and use this. And I have the shade Daria, which just looks like this. So I'm going to go ahead and use this blush first. Ooh, that's pigmented. Now I'm going to take this highlighter right here. I'm going to take the tiniest touch of the diamond topper. Just put that at the very, very top of the cheekbone. Just for a little extra glitter. For my lips today, I'm actually going to go ahead and take a little bit of this blush right here. Just a touch. And I'm just going to add that, Why is that actually lighter than my lips? What the heck? I thought I was going to add like an extra little juiciness, but it's actually lighter than my lips. What the heck? So, just added like a nice little light pink shade there. Just tapping it in, nothing too precise. I'm actually going to go in with my end here because I'm a mess. And then I'm going to use the Tarte gloss in the shade, I think this is Insta Famous. Yes, Insta Famous. It's kind of like a pretty, little bit glittery topper. Alright guys, so this is the finished look, and I feel like at this point I have still not convinced myself that I do not need the Natasha Denona Gold palette. I kind of have mixed feelings. I feel like these are actually pretty good palette partners, and if you would never purchase a Natasha Denona palette if it's just out of your budget. There's absolutely no way. I do feel like these two palettes together will give you some similar looks, similar vibes, really beautiful together. I really do love this look. I love the tones. But as I was doing my blush and my highlight and everything, I was thinking back, and I actually have done a video once in the past where I compared some eyeshadows from Natasha Denona on one side and some eyeshadows from Juvia's Place on the other side, and I found in the end that even though the colors were similar and you could get very similar looks, that the Natasha Denona just had a different sparkle and a different finish to it, and it was just a little bit more luxe. So I feel like basically my thoughts are, if you want something, like I said, comparable, similar, I feel like these two palettes together are great and it will give you similar looks. But if you're a makeup lover who's thinking about treating themselves for their birthday, then maybe the Natasha Denona would be worth it because of the different finishes and the different undertones and the unique shades. And I kind of really love the mattes that are in that palette for some reason. Even though they're mostly neutral, I'm super drawn to it. I feel like everything I've ever tried from Natasha Denona I have really loved and enjoyed, so I don't have any doubts that if I got the palette I think I would love it. And I just love these tones. I feel like it's so easy but still wearable, but still something a little bit different going on there. So I cannot say yes or no in this exact moment. I'm still a little bit undecided, but keep watching my channel, and if in a few weeks you see the palette, then you'll know that I got it, and if you don't see it, then you'll know that I didn't get it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you would like to see more videos like this, pretending that I'm using something that I'm not using and trying to do the same vibes, the same kind of look, I definitely can do more because I think this is super fun. And obviously in this case I'm still not completely sold on the fact that I don't need it, but I think that there are a lot of palettes out there that are not as special or interesting, so it'd be really easy to play with my own collection and be like, yeah, I don't need that at all. So let me know if there's any particular palettes that you would like to see that with, and I can try and see and dig around and if I have anything comparable. So I think that is everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!